My name is Athena. I use she, her, hers pronouns. I am bi. I prefer bi rather than bisexual. I am cisgender. In no particular order, I'm a mom. I'm 43. I am objectively and subjectively fat, and I'm comfortable sharing that in a political way. I'm a settler here in Vancouver, and I am the child of immigrants. Um, I was born in Toronto. For me, health and well-being is kind of like a holistic idea. It involves my emotional health, my physical health, my social health, as it were, my intellectual health.
It's the types of relationships that I have with other people. Are they caring? Are they not caring? And then it's also kind of changed for me now. Like, I think health and well-being is also feeling safety to go to let's say, the clinic. My name is Loki, and my pronoun is he, and I identify as male. I'm trans. I come from a small town in the Kootenays, Creston, and I was raised there up until I was 17, and it was it was a challenge because I didn't feel like I can be myself and come out. And then once I went to the city, I met people, and I ended up getting into addiction. One of the challenges for myself was getting sober, getting clean in order to embark on my journey in transitioning. Now I'm taking social services work in school. I've been sober and clean for almost 2 years, coming up in October. I've got a consultation coming up for top surgery. So I feel like my life has changed drastically.
So my name is Jen Matsuidaru. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. And I'm a queer, trans, non-binary, mixed race, Japanese, Canadian settler. Just a lot of identities and not even all of them. I'm from East Vancouver currently, born in London, England, but I'm also a third generation Japanese Canadian. I use various pronouns in different contexts. So they, them, theirs tends to be sort of a neutral professional setting and most of my personal world. My pronouns shift relationally as well. I often use she, her pronouns with certain family members. I use he, him pronouns with other people I have different relationships with. And for me, none of it is less authentic. It's actually, I'm gender fluid as well as gender queer, and my relationships are actually part of my context, and my social context informs how my gender presents. I identify as both femme and masculine, so for me, none of those pronouns feel incongruent.
I think health and well-being means to me just finding ways to take care of your body and of your mind. And I think there's a lot of really confusing and overwhelming information about what's the best way to take care of yourself. And for me, it's definitely been a process of finding out what I need and what works best for me. So my name is Cicely Bell, and I'm originally from London, and then I moved to live here on Coast Salish territories about 6 years ago to go to UBC. I identify as queer, non-binary, and femme. I think, I would say femme is probably the most important part of my identity, I think. And my ancestry is of Jamaican and Gambian descent.
Health and well-being for me is, it's changed. My health was really poor in the past. And I think once I actually started just making those baby steps of, simply making my bed, buying bananas, blueberries, and eggs, and the good stuff, nutrition. The more nutrition I was eating, the better I felt, mentally, emotionally, physically. Internal dialogue, how I speak of myself and to myself. It also plays a key part for me being trans. I'm not on testosterone right now, and so I'm looking at the best alternatives into how can I feel most comfortable in my body when it's a body that I initially, for the most part, don't feel comfortable in. So what are the things that I can do to make it feel more comfortable.
My name's Chase Willier. I'm H.E.A.L or Cree. I live in East Vancouver. My pronouns are he, him, and his. And I'm a father of a 3-year-old. I'm married and live with my wife and my daughter Nika in East Van on Commercial Drive. And I've been living in the community for a while. I retired in 2010 with over 25 years service, so full retirement. Out of Aboriginal Policing Services and E-Division, so I spent the majority of my service either working with First Nations, on reserve. I have worked in other areas, Marine Section and municipal traffic and criminal intelligence and national security and other areas, but my love has always been working with my own people. Because I believe in holistic health, as a traditional person or as a First Nation person, I see things like the medicine wheel, right? Of my physical, mental, emotional, spiritual self, my cognitive self. And all those have to be in balance. When I joined the RCMP, I was the second Aboriginal woman in the province. My best friend was the first. And I was in the closet at the time as lesbian. I eventually came out, or was outed, in H.E.A.L detachment. And then there was a process later on of, coming out in the community in Vancouver and living there. And then being butch identified, and then eventually transitioning, or my pronouns, towards the end of my career, and identifying male. But I didn't physically transition on the job. I identify as Two-Spirit, member of the community. I've also realized that gender is fluid. I had my identity as a First Nations person or as a Cree person, and I didn't adopt I guess it's kind of a label or that until somewhat only relatively recently. Mostly because I recognize that every tribe or every nation has their own terms for Two-Spirit or language, that non-natives see it as, sexuality tied to your sexuality when it's not really. There are identities, third, fourth, fifth genders. And I saw it as more of a personal, who I am as a person, and gifts that you may have that might transcend the binaries.